Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then welcome. So this video kicks off a new series that I'm going to be starting on my channel, doing deep dives into each step of my wash day. So my last video was talking about the reasons why I possibly may, who knows, in the future might texturize my hair. And one theme that was not only throughout that entire video, but pretty much throughout my entire channel is detangling. Detangling and my tangles inform every single thing that I do to my hair pretty much. I'm going to be doing these how-to videos from the perspective of someone with very, very tangled hair. And I've talked about that with you guys so much over the years, but some people, I don't know if they think I'm exaggerating. Like, I know they're trying to help, but they'll give me like advice and things that they do. And the whole thing is that none of that stuff works for me. My hair, as I mentioned in the texturizer video, is just naturally much more tangled than others. And even when it was relaxed, like fully straight relaxed, my hair tangled a lot more easily than the average person's. So I hope this series will be helpful, even if you don't have very, very tangled hair. Maybe you'll see some things that you might want to integrate into your routine, or maybe you have a kid that has very, very tangled hair and is very tender-headed, and maybe you want to implement some of these things, because when I tell you guys every step of my wash day, everything from what we're going to be doing today with detangling all the way through styling is informed through the tangled state of my hair and how it will retangle just like that, and the steps that I take to keep my hair in as much of a healthy state as I can. So if you name it, I have tried it pretty much with my hair. These are things that help me keep some semblance of sanity on wash day. So we're gonna kick off this series with detangling, of course. Number one, because it is probably the most important and most dreaded and most headache inducing of my entire routine pretty much, but also because just logically in the series, this is what comes first. So what I do is I pre-poo and detangle pretty much as one step. I will put on my pre-poo, let it soak in for a little bit, and then get into the nitty-gritty of detangling. So my last video talking about detangling is when I switched from using a wide tooth comb to detangling to moving exclusively to finger detangling, and I've been doing that for 7 years now. Anytime I introduce a tool into my hair, especially a brush, it is mayhem. So finger detangling has been the best for my hair that I have discovered, because my hair is so tangle prone. Using my fingers allows me to really get in there and gently separate the hair instead of just like going in one fell swoop. I used to do a version where I would finger detangle, then use a wide tooth comb, and it would still cause too much breakage. What I usually would do up until recently, and I still do it if I'm just like not wanting to do this extra step, even though this extra step does make a big difference, is I will just take a cheapy silicone-free conditioner that is kind of runny, a good amount of slip. I will use one of these, douse it all over my head, let it soak in for a little bit, and then get to detangling. So this is what I will do if I don't want to do this additional step. But the additional step that I've been doing that I discovered during my Fenugreek February challenge is I will use one of these products that I have here, and I have a few different affordable options, because although this is my favorite, this is the Nature's Little Secret Fenugreek Detangling Pre-Poo. This is their best-selling product over at Nature's Little Secret, and it pretty much has very slippery, slidey ingredients to help to remove the tangles from your hair. And I love this, but on its own, it doesn't give me as much moisture, and moisture helps with detangling with my hair, but it's also a little bit pricey, and because I need to use a lot of product during the pre-poo and detangling step, this is not the most economical for me. So I will be seeing this again for Black Friday. They've upgraded from 8 ounces to 12 ounces. Yes, please. I wish more companies would do that. Even though they have downgraded the size of their fruit medley deep conditioner, I think that's the name of it, or the mixed fruits deep conditioner. People absolutely love that. I think it's permanent now, but it went from being 12 ounces to 8 ounces. So we need to go back to that 12 ounce vibe. I have some nice little dupes that, although the ingredients aren't quite as awesome as the Nature's Little Secret, it's pretty much the same thing. These are like very slippery, slimy, almost snotty textured products that just help combined with my conditioner to make detangling much easier, and I'll take what I can get. I've tried it with different pre-poo conditioners. It doesn't have to be Suave. I've tried it with tons of different ones just to make sure that wasn't a fluke. So I first heard about these from Sheree Del Sol. She did a comparison of these two like 2 years ago, and I think that this one was her favorite, and I filmed a head-to-head video showing what the results were on my hair, but I had to delete all that footage because my computer was full. The African Pride Moisture Miracle Aloe and Coconut Detangle and Condition Pre-Shampoo Treatment. I got this from Walmart. This one I got from Sally's. This is the Just For Me Tender-Headed Detangling Treatment. I love that they have tender-headed in the name of the product. Yes, please. All of these products that I have here are silicone-free, so it fits right in with my routines. Each of these on their own are HG detangling products for a ton of different people, because they, for a lot of people, not me, but for a lot of people, give you that tangles fall out of your hair type of thing. Like, they are so slippery that your fingers literally run through your hair after using them. But again, this is from someone who has abnormally tangled hair than the average person. So one of these methods for most people gonna work perfectly. So my pre-poos give me a lot of slip on their own and moisture. These, on the other hand, don't give me a lot of moisture, but they give me a lot of slip. So this just like levels up the slip for my pre-poo conditioner. So I'm just gonna be showing the results of all three of these products on my hair today, just so you can like see how I use each of them. They're very similar, especially the last two, the African Pride and the Just For Me. I would say that the Just For Me was my favorite when I did my head-to-head, but this one did a great job as well. They're so close, it's not even funny. So if you can't find this one, the African Pride one does a very good job. So my hair is just a week old. It's already incredibly tangled. I've been working out a lot as usual lately, and it is summertime now, so it's hot. My hair's ready for some moisture, so I'm going to listen. With this first step, I'm just going to be thoroughly applying the product, and because my hair is low porosity, I let this concoction soak in anywhere for a minimum of 30 minutes to maybe a couple hours, depending on how busy I get. So the key is just to let it soften my strands, soften the tangles, which is going to make detangling a lot easier, because my goal is to try to decrease breakage, not be too rough, and just be very, very gentle. So that time, that body heat, letting it just kind of soak in there is key for me. I can't just apply these and then just go to detangling, because I will get nowhere near the optimum result. Today I'm going to be using the Suave Rainforest Fresh Conditioner. They don't make this one anymore, I don't think, because I got it at Ollie's and I have not seen it since I purchased it. With every step of my wash day, I always start at the back section of my hair. So I apply a lot of product at my roots, because that is where the bulk of my tangles are, right at the root here. So my hair is already starting to soften, which is great. And here are my tangles. I don't know if you guys can see, but there is no way I can move my fingers through my hair. So my goal with detangling is not to remove every single tangle in my head. That is completely unrealistic, and I would be here forever. And with the way that my curls are, it tangles right back up pretty much right after I've detangled. Even with me sectioning it and twisting it so it doesn't tangle, my strands stick together naturally. My goal is to at least remove the majority of the tangles. From the moment a product touches my hair, I'm already starting to detangle. So I am applying the product while detangling, because that's the only way it's going to get to these inner tangles that are here, is if I already start to detangle little by little and separate the individual strands from the tangle portion to get to the rest of my hair, or else I can't even penetrate it with the product. So once I've done an initial coating, I will go on top of the section with one of these little snotty wonders here. I'm going to start with the Just For Me treatment, and when I say snotty texture, this is what I'm talking about. Super duper snotty, super slippery. This is basically like slip in a jar. Perfect level up for my conditioner base. So I go in with my claw hand right to the root, because that is where the majority of my tangles originate, right here at the root. So if I can start here, it makes the whole process a lot easier for the whole section. Make sure to get the back as well as the inner quadrant of my hair with this product. It's very tempting for me to like do a lot of detangling right now, but I know I get the best results by letting it soak in. And moving on to the next section, I'm gonna go in again with a very healthy dose of my pre-poo conditioner. Just go to town. My hair is a more is better type of girl. This is just to ensure that every square millimeter of my hair is covered. And as I mentioned in my texturizer video, do not let curl pattern fool you. I've gotten some comments over the years on Instagram and YouTube where people are like, oh, your hair isn't very tight, so there's no way it can be as tangled as you say it is. Trust me, it is. Because I want to show you guys all three of these boosters that I use for slip. Next, we're going to be using the Fenugreek Detangler from Nature's Little Secret. I already have my hand in there. I was already on autopilot and already have my hand in there. I have a full review on this product, so of course I'll link it in the eye up here. But this is what it looks like. A bit different than the other two. Those are clear. This one is almost like and I know this probably looks really gross, but trust me, it works. But it kind of looks like oatmeal. And I also find that this one is the most slippy of the three for me. Like, this is as close as I can get to that whole tangles falling out thing. The other two are great, but this one, really, I can tell a huge difference. Get that claw hand up there to those roots. This is really, really tangled today, so I'm not going to push it too much. Just gently separate. Ow, that feels workable for now. Okay, so moving on to this front section to show you what I'm working with. I'm being very, very gentle because I don't want to cause any breakage. But when I say my hair tangles, this is what we're talking about. Like, and I used to be able to go a lot longer in between wash days, but I think that my hair is just in one of those changes every 7 years type of phases to where it's even more tangled because my routine hasn't changed or anything. If you are someone that has extremely tangled hair to the point where it almost mats naturally, even with very good and consistent hair care, or if you have, as I mentioned, a child or a relative or a friend or someone who has similar woes with their hair, definitely share this video. It might help them because it feels like you're alone sometimes when it comes to talking about how tangled your hair is, because people will of course offer up advice. They, you know, are well-meaning, they want to help, but they don't understand just how bad it really is. So that a 6-hour wash day for them is unfathomable, but for me it's the norm. Trust me, if I could shorten this thing up, and I have tried to over the years, I would, because this process is a lot. Add a little bit more because my hair is soaking that right in. So I want to be able to almost squeeze my hair and have product come out when it comes to the pre-poo step. Super tangled right here. Going with that claw hand. This is much gentler than me just going in and separating it from the jump, because I'm gently adding product to where it's the most tangled, letting it soften up for a little bit before going in. And then I just gently remove strands from the main tangle until I can separate it. And I'm being, as you can see, very, very gentle because my hair can break easily if I'm too rough with it. It usually takes a lot, it's a lot quicker when I'm not filming, but I want to really, since this is my deep dive series, show you step by step so that it can hopefully be as helpful as possible. A good stopping point, because like I mentioned, I can do this forever if I keep on focusing. I'm going to let this little booster and my pre-poo do some of the work for me. This is the African Pride one, the third one. Love that this one and the Just For Me are so readily available. At least the last time when I ordered them, being able to get them at Walmart or Sally's and Target was great. So if you're looking for a more affordable option to add to your pre-poo that gives you a lot of additional slip, and I've tried oils and I've tried everything, and nothing has been able to give me the slip of the combo of the pre-poo conditioner and one of these products. That slimy texture is your friend. It really does make a big difference on top of a conditioner. Right side is done. Time to move on to the left side. Oh gosh, this is gonna suck. Like legit matted right here. This is just the initial application process. So for me and my hair, it is not just applying the product. As you can see, it's a lot of smoothing, that initial detangling, letting things sit and marinate, and then actually doing the bulk of the detangling. So I hope you guys are still with me. I'm gonna do the same thing over in this section. Pop a shower cap on for maybe about 30 minutes to an hour. Then we'll be back to do the actual detangling. It's been about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. So I'm going to get the real detangling started. Something else that you guys have seen me do in a lot of videos is whenever I am working with hair that needs to remain wet and moisturized, I just keep the shower cap on the side that I am not working with so I can keep that moisture in and prevent it from drying. My hair feels much softer now, which should make it a lot easier for tangles. So I start separating at the root versus starting at the end, because as I mentioned earlier in the video, the root is where the bulk of my tangles start, and it just makes it a lot easier to be able to separate the whole section if I can take care of the root a lot quicker in the beginning. So I just use my thumb as my main detangler, and once I get it comfortably detangled, I go in with my whole hand in a more traditional, I guess, comb motion. Then when I feel like I'm at a good spot with the majority of my hair, then I will start at the ends. So I attack the roots first, then the majority with like some general detangling with my hands like this, then move on to the ends of my hair. Just kind of repeat the whole process until I can move with pretty relative ease through the majority of the section. What that's doing is working the shed hair that I have down and out of my hair, and then so each time that I return to a section, it's a little less tangled until I can do it all in one fell swoop almost, and I know that I can be done with that section in general. Still feel tangles up in the roots. Just inserting my thumb right in the middle of that tangle, and then just gently separating the strands and just repeating that over and over until it's completely gone. Just removing shed hair as I go. Smoothing is also a big part of my detangling. When I lay it flush like this, sometimes it helps me to remove the tangle a bit better, and it also helps the shed hairs to come out a bit easier, keeping it kind of stretched and smoothing as I go. I feel like we're getting there with this section. I'm just going to go through it a couple more times just to get some more stragglers. Again, it's not going to be fully detangled, but it's going to be worlds less tangles than when I first started my wash day, which is all I can ask for. And detangling to this point also lets me get to some tangles that I wasn't able to get to before, maybe because they're like in like the very center of the section, so they're a little bit harder to get to. So by attacking the tangles on the outside of my hair, I can get those that are left on the very, very inside of the section. So that's kind of where we are right now. So majority in this particular section is good to go. So I'm just, now that I've removed those, I can get to like the inner portion right here that I can't get to as easily until I've removed the tangles surrounding it. And I'm usually just in the zone when I detangle, so actually like explaining it is kind of weird. I would say on my channel, my reviews of course are centered on products, and I don't really talk about detangling products with demos as much because the actual process is such a pain. So actually talking through it and like trying to get the right angles and stuff, I hope that when I edit it, and I hope that the angle that I'm showing you guys makes sense. So this is what I do for every section of my hair, and we are done with this first section. So here's a little after, what things are looking like compared to how it looked like before. And this is detangling from a wash and go. When I detangle after my hair's been in a twist out, sometimes it's a little bit easier because my hair has been elongated and it can't tangle upon itself as much, but it's still the same exact process and it doesn't shave off that much time having my hair in a twist out. This is when I know I can move on to the next section. This would be impossible if I didn't do that constant smoothing, going through the section in those different areas repeatedly like I do. So I am going to finish the rest of my hair, show you what it looks like at the front, and then as I finish each section, I just twist it up to keep it nice and organized and out of the way. So this section is usually pretty tangled, but today it is surprisingly okay. When I was doing this section right before it, I kind of got this one caught up into it and it got detangled a little bit more after letting it marinate, so maybe that helped. My curl pattern, as I mentioned, is the loosest at the front here, so I tend to be the quickest at this part, not only because I'm ready for it to be done, but just because the shed hair comes out pretty easily. So when I am detangling and just doing my hair in general, I need some entertainment, so I also want to tell you guys what I do to keep myself, you know, having some semblance of enjoyment. I actually have one of the things paused in the background since I am showing you guys this last section, but one of my favorite channels on YouTube is Nerd Soup. I love their dynamic. They're really funny. I even have a crush on one of the guys from the podcast. They talk about like movies and television, and I'm really into media overall. I studied it in college a little bit. I worked at a movie store in high school, and I've just been always really into shows and movies like a lot, and I like to hear about like the criticism and theories behind them, so I like to watch Nerd Soup. Just like before, using my thumb to get those roots first because that makes everything easier as far as being able to section my hair at the front here and remove shed hair from all the section as a whole, starting at the root there. I'm also hugely into true crime. That's probably what I watch the most on YouTube, and I will put on like old episodes of 2020 or Dateline. My favorite true crime YouTuber is Stephanie Harlow. I love her so much. She also has a podcast now with this guy named Derek Levasseur, and it's called Crime Weekly, so I will put that on my Spotify and listen, or I'll watch them on YouTube because they have a YouTube channel now. But I also like Eleanor Neal and Bella Fiore. They are probably my favorite true crime YouTube channels, where I'll listen to different true crime documentaries, things like that. And sometimes I will watch hair videos because it kind of gives me like someone's with me on wash day doing the same thing. So sometimes I will watch other natural hair YouTubers doing stuff on wash day or reviewing different products. And as I mentioned in my live video back in November, I also really like Corpse Husband, but now he kind of just does stuff about Among Us, which is not my thing, so I'll listen to his old videos. I also really like Let's Read. That's a horror narration channel that I really like, as well as Being Scared and Mortis Media. Those are my like things I put on when I go to sleep. They relax me, but they also help me when I'm doing chores or doing my hair as well. So those are some of the things I do when I am sat here doing this type of stuff to my hair outside of the shower. But inside the shower, I will listen to music. I find that I can't listen to my stuff that's like podcast based or story based in the shower. Like the shower drowns it out, so I will listen to music when I am shampooing my hair, rinsing out my deep conditioner, and just during my normal shower. So those are the things I do to keep things kind of sort of fun when I am going through my routine. So this is pretty much detangled. I'm just gonna go through those ends again because I feel there's some shed hairs that are still hanging out. And detangling is the foundation for my entire wash day, so I really try to take my time, remove as much shed hair as I can. The smoothing action that I do during this entire process really helps for how my style is going to turn out because I'm laying my cuticle down, and that just really helps all the way from washing my hair to eventually styling it. If I don't properly detangle my hair, then it's a wrap for the rest of my wash day. I also like to kind of lift the whole section up away from my scalp because since that is where my hair tends to tangle the worst, I want to make sure that there are no tangles kind of hiding there. So I do that even though it's painful because I am catching some additional tangles, and the closer it is to my scalp, the more it hurts. I get puffy roots sometimes during my styles, and that is mainly because the root has some tangles that I didn't get. So this helps me to eliminate puffy roots a lot more when I really get in there, remove the shed hairs and detangle, and also smooth. If you guys see grimaces of pain throughout the video, that's because I'm in pain. It does not feel good. Tender-headed for life. Oh yeah, lots of shed hair right at that root section. Once I am done, I'll start at the roots of my hair to get any additional shed hair that I can grab before I call it and move on to my next step, which is cleansing. But this just, again, helps me to get my hair going in a downward pattern for when I move through the rest of my steps. Because I wash my hair going into a downward motion, I apply my deep conditioner in a downward motion, and my styling products. So all of this is prep for the next steps to follow. I think we're good. So that is detangling complete, you guys. As I mentioned, it is a lot. It is a lot, but this is the best routine I've found for my hair to detangle in the, oh my goodness, math, in the 15 years that I've been natural. I've tried, as I mentioned, so many things, just haven't worked for me. This by far is what works the best. It is very kind of labor intensive, but it preserves the most of my hair staying on my head, the health of my hair, the look of it, and it's also the least painful way that I have found to detangle my hair. As I mentioned in my texturizer video, I've tried it all. Denman, Tangle Teaser, Wet Brush, Modified Denman, Magic Rake Comb, WeDad Double Detangler, various different types of paddle brushes, and wide tooth combs. They don't work. Here is the end result. Very happy with it, even though as usual it was painful. I think the rest of my wash day is going to be fairly pleasant. That's one good thing about detangling. I've gotten the worst of it out of the way. The rest of it is cake compared to this. Hope you found this very nitty-gritty deep dive into my detangling routine for my curly, tangled, borderline matted hair. I hope it was helpful. Again, if you know someone who has a really big problem with detangling, please share this video. It might be helpful for them. Or if you're looking for some new ways to incorporate different methods into your own detangling routine, even if it's not as severe as mine, definitely let me know if you check any of these tips out. The next video in the series will be all about cleansing. I don't know when these videos are going to come out. I'll kind of film them when I can in between other videos. That is the first video in my how-to series all done. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps boost my channel out into the YouTube algorithm for more people to see it. And since this is my 10-year anniversary on YouTube, I would love to finally hit 10,000 subscribers at the end of this year in 2021. That would be amazing. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I'm also having a giveaway when I reach that milestone, and I will see you in next Friday's video, which will be my second empties video of 2021. We'll see how close I've gotten to my 200 products in 2021 goal. I think it's gonna be a lot. Today alone, I think I'm gonna use up 4 products. So very excited for that empties. Hope you all are doing great, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.